Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today I'm going to be doing a video request making Hello Kitty by Woobles. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. Okay, so today you guys, I got a video request from Tanya's Nails. She has her own nail channel if you'd like to check her out. It's at Tanya Jimenez 8. I will leave a link in the description box below if you want to check her out. But she sent me this request to help her do this Hello Kitty from Woobles. So I don't have any of the materials that are in this kit because it's obviously sent to me via email. But I am going to try to recreate this with my own items that I have. I'm going to sew all the eyes. I don't like to use any safety eyes in case I, give this to someone that is in risk of choking on it. So let's start. If you need to speed up or slow down the video, click on the gear button on the corner of the screen. There's playback options to go fast or slow. If you don't need to hear me talk, lower the volume on your device, and then you can click on the closed caption button. I'm going to be repeating new stitches 3 times, step by step, and then I'm going to do the rest at a, mild, normal pace, fast pace. I don't know, we'll see. Okay. So I have this hook. It's a 4mm hook. I just took this from another Woobles kit that I have. This is part of the new Care Bears collection if you would like to check that out. I did post an unboxing for it last week. And you know what, I am going to end up making all 3 of them, so you can click on the notification bells for that. If there are any other requests, you can comment below. If you want me to do it sooner rather than later, sending me the instructions via email in clear images would be very helpful, and I can add that to my queue. Okay, so let's get started. Alright, with white, yellow, and blue yarn, keep track of where you are by placing a stitch marker in the first stitch of the current round. Alright, well, before we get ahead, here is my packet of markers. I've just been collecting these from the number of kits that I've done over time recently, and it's adding up. So the more the merrier, because you never know how many rows of repetitive instructions you're going to need to where you're going to have to keep track of how many you're doing. Okay, so I need to get my white yarn, and here is my white yarn. This is something that I obviously bought on my own, and I want to find the insides. Anytime you get spools of yarn like this, I like to try to pull out the centers so that I can work with the inside rather than the outside so that it doesn't roll around. Okay, got lucky. Alright, let's see. White yarn, start 6 single crochet stitches in a magic loop. Alright. So I'm sure that if you use their videos online, there's step-by-steps for everything. I'm going to show you how I do it, so you can do it my way or their way, whichever way you feel is comfortable. So this is for righty. If you need a lefty, comment below and I will tack that onto my list of videos I need to do. I have a number, it's really sad. I have a number of requests, so I will try. Membership does get priority, so I will, obviously bump yours to the top of the list, but I haven't really received any member requests really for that, so we're all good. Alright, let's do this magic, they call it the magic loop. Alright, so you're going to take some yarn here in your index finger. You're going to wrap this around a couple of times around your finger like this. You want to have a little bit of overage like that. So you could put your middle finger down on it to hold it down. You want to have 3 strands at the end of this. Okay. Then you're going to palm up, so face your palm up. And we're going to take our hook. You want the hook up. You want a hook. You want to put the hook up. Forget it. And we're going to slip that under the 3 strands. Like that. And then we're going to pull the hook back out, but we're going to drag this piece under these 2. So you'll maybe twist your hook up or down. Let's try down. I'm going to drag this under the 2 stitches like that. And so now we have this going on here. So now what we're going to do is do a yarn over. And yarning over is basically putting the yarn over the hook like that. And then we're going to pull this strand through this loop. So let's do that now. Just like that. We've closed up the little ring there. So you can let go of your middle finger. You can slide this off your index finger. And you should have like 2 loops and a little excess piece and a loop hanging off of your, hanging onto your hook there. Then we can do our 6 single crochet stitches. So I'm going to gather up some yarn here. And I like to do this the live long day. You can do it. I'm sure they can show you how to do it. I'm very barbaric about it. Alright, before we do this, we're going to do a chain 1. This creates the height of the round. So what a chain 1 is basically doing a yarn over. And then we're going to pull this strand through this loop. And that is a chain 1. So now that we did a chain 1, we can do a single crochet stitch. So let me show you how to do that. Stick your hook into the magic loops here. There's 2 of them. So stick your hook in there. We're going to do a yarn over. You're going to pull up a loop. So you have 2 loops onto your hook. We're going to do another yarn over. And we're going to pull through those 2 loops. And we have our first single crochet stitch along with our chain stitch. Let's do this again. Stick your hook into the magic loops, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through those 2 loops. So now we have 2 single crochet stitches and a chain stitch. Let's do this one more time with you guys. Into the magic loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. So now we have 3 single crochet stitches and a chain stitch. So now I just have to repeat this 3 more times. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single crochet stitches and a chain stitch all together. And what makes it magic is that we're going to pull this end here and it's going to close up this large ring. So what we're going to do is you're going to check out these 2 loops here. See, this one and this one. One of these 2 is going to go inside the magic loop first. Whichever goes out, you want to pull this and you want to see which one goes in first. So lightly grip the bottom stitches with your thumb and your index right here. Then with this thumb and your middle finger, we're going to start pulling this excess piece out while watching to see which loop goes in. So pull on this, watch it, and then as you can see, this one here is the one that was going in. So what we're going to do, we're going to pull this bottom half out, not this top part, this bottom part. So grab that loop that went in first, and we're going to pull out that bottom half, and we're going to watch the other loop disappear. So keep pulling, keep pulling. Not to go too crazy, just slowly pull it. Make sure that other loop goes all the way in, so you can still see there's some in there. Let's pull this till it's all the way into that magic loop, like that. You might still have a little hole left. That's okay, because we still have to get rid of this loop now. So how you do that is you grab this excess piece you're going to want to pull this the same way until that whole loop disappears. And just to make sure we close up this hole a little bit more, there's a little bit left we can pull. So if we're pulling this direction, we want to do the opposite and up. So pull in the opposite direction and up. You can feel it like pull just a little bit more. You don't have to go too crazy, but it closed that hole altogether. And that's the magic part of it. You get this large hole that turns into a small hole. Okay, so let me see. I just have the instructions here, and I'm trying to find out if you do a slip stitch beforehand, but it looks like you don't. Some kits will have you entirely close off the close off the whole round before you start the new one, and that's a slip stitch, but I don't see any of that here, so we're not going to do that here. Start here if you're using the pre-made piece. Okay, so then we're going to move on to round 2. So since I don't see no close off of anything, we're just going to move on to round 2. And let's open these markers. We don't necessarily need them right now. Yeah, we do. Okay. It does say to keep track in the first stitch of the current round. I like to put them in the last stitch because you can look forward to where you're supposed to be. So let me explain. Take your marker. The last stitch we made is right here, and it's the one right next to the hook. We're going to put this through the braid of the last stitch. You want to go just under these loops. See, like, this isn't the last one, but I wanted to show you how if you got it right under the braid, you clear it, you can pull it up, and you see that large gap, that's where you're going to put your marker. So in the last stitch, do the same thing. Put it underneath that braid. You can check to see if you got it in the right spot. Now the Woobles yarn is really different compared to regular yarn, so it's highly unlikely you're going to accidentally poke through the yarn, but it's always good to check anyway. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do the second round, and we have to do 6 increasing stitches and end up with 12. I'll show you how to do that. What you're going to do is from the marker that I placed, count back 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to put our hook into the 6th stitch right here. Okay. Then we're going to start our increasing stitch. An increasing stitch is basically 2 single crochet stitches in this one stitch. So that's fairly simple. So once you got your hook into this 6th stitch, we're going to do a yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops. That's 1 single crochet stitch. We're going to do another one into the same stitch. So put your hook back into that same stitch we just used. Then you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And that's 2 single crochet stitches in that one stitch. So now we just have to do 5 more of these. So into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, then into that same stitch we just used, you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So now we have 2 single crochet stitches in here and 2 single crochet stitches here and that's it. So 4. We're going to do this one more time with you guys. Into the next stitch, we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Into that same stitch, we're going to put in our hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we should have 6 altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I just have to repeat this 3 more times. And you see what I'm saying? So we know we have 3 stitches left because we counted, but let's say you stopped, you had stuff to do, it's the next day, the next week, the next month even sometimes for me, and you're like, I don't know where I am. Well, you can just count your stitches to your marker. So you can count from the next stitch, 1, 2, 3. Okay, got to do 3 more increasing stitches. And I guess you could do it too if you mark the first one, but I like to mark the last one. All right, from the previous stitch, from the previous round. Okay, so let's continue with 3 more increasing stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, since the next round is not going to be repetitive, we're going to remove the marker, and then we're going to put it on the top of the last stitch we made, like I showed you before, and then we can do round 3. So for round 3, I'm going to gather yarn while I talk here. So round 3, we got to do a single crochet stitch, and then an increasing stitch 6 times and end up with 18 stitches. So this is where it's going to get interesting. Okay. So in the next stitch, you're going to do a single crochet stitch. Then we're going to do an increasing stitch. And then we're going to repeat this 5 more times. So the next stitch, a single crochet stitch. The next stitch, an increasing stitch. And then we have to repeat this 4 times. So next stitch, single crochet stitch. Next stitch, increasing stitch. And then we're going to repeat this 3 more times. Single, increase, single, increase, single, increase. It's always good to call it out even if you're by yourself, especially if you're a beginner, just because you'll end up, sometimes when I'm tired, I'll realize I'll call out an instruction to myself and I'm doing something completely different. So I'm just marking the top of the last stitch I made again, and we're going to move on to round 4. So for round 4, we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch 6 times and end up with 24. So 2 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, an increasing stitch, and repeat this 5 more times. 2 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, an increasing stitch, right? Repeat this 4 more times. 2 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, an increasing stitch, 1, 2, then repeat this 3 more times. 2 single, 1 increase, 2 more times, 2 single, 1 increase, 2 single, and 1 increase. So if you end up where your marker is, you know you're on track. Remove this, stick this underneath on top of the last stitch I made. All right. So now for round 5, this one's pretty straightforward. We're going to do 24 single crochet stitches across the board. Okay. So let's do 24 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Okay. Remove the marker, put it under the top braid of the last stitch you made. Alright, so next it says your piece might start curling. That's totally normal. For a neater final look, push the middle of your piece until it curves the other way. This makes the right side face out, then keep crocheting to the left. If you are lefty, keep crocheting to the right. Aw, you addressed that. So the curling is this. So it's gonna start looking like a little basket, a little wicker basket. This section here is the right side that you want to face out. This is the wrong side because it's got that excess piece just flapping in the wind over there that, you know, can't really explain that one. So what they're saying is to invert it and flip it inside out like that. And then you can tuck your excess piece inside. This will be covered with or smushed down even more with your stuffing, so you don't need to worry about that. But then we just continue on going counterclockwise for righty, clockwise for lefty. All right. So now for round 6, we have 5 single crochet stitches and increasing stitch 4 times and end up with 28 stitches. So let's do 5 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do our increasing stitch. 1, 2. Okay, then we're going to do this 3 more times. 5 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to do an increasing stitch. 1, 2. Then we just have to repeat this 2 more times. 5 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Increasing stitch. 1, 2. And last one. 1, 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, increasing stitch. 1, 2. Okay. Remove the marker, put it under the last top of the last stitch we made. Never know what to say. Okay, then we're going to do round 7 through 9. So if this one, let's say, is 7, 8, 9. So we have to use up these 3 markers, and that's why you keep them. Sometimes some projects will have 7 to 21, you know, and then it's like, it's easy. It's 3 rounds we have to go next. But if you did 7 through 21, you could take a break, you could just lose count. So it's always good to have more of these. You can get them at the hobby store or online in packets for a couple of dollars, I think. I'm not too sure. But whenever you get any kits, just save these up. Anytime you get nice hard tools that you could possibly use again, definitely keep it, because you will use it again. Okay, so for 7 through 9, we're going to do straight 28 single crochet stitches. That's fairly simple. I'm going to do them in silence, and then we're going to come back and do round 10. So we finished rounds 7 through 9, and then we're going to do round 10, and we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch 4 times, and end up with 32. So let me just grab this, and then it says invisible fasten off. What the heck is that? Make a slip knot with your blue yarn and a slip stitch, join the stitch where you fasten off. Slip stitch join means slip stitch join. Alright, I'll show you how to switch to blue. So we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to do an increasing stitch. And then we're going to repeat this 3 more times. 6 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to do an increasing stitch. 1, 2, and then we're going to repeat this 2 more times. 6 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, an increasing stitch, and then last time. Okay, then I'm going to move this marker. Oh, we're going to switch to the blue. Okay, so we are going to pull this loop, make it really big. You want to give yourself some space here so you can remove this hook and not lose your stitch. Let's set this aside for now. Go and grab your blue. So again, Woobles yarn is different from regular yarn. I have regular yarn here. This is the yarn that I'm using. Okay, I'm going to show you how to cast on to your hook. So you want to take your pinky, ring, and thumb and just hold it at the end here. And then take your index and ring middle finger and hold it a ways apart. We're going to take our hook side up, and we're going to put it perpendicular to the yarn. Then we're just going to go down, out, and around to make a loop around your hook. You can slide it up and down. Slide it all the way down towards your thumb. We're going to take our middle finger and just hold it where it crosses, so that you can let go of your left hand. Then we're going to gather up some yarn on your finger. Then we're going to pinch the end again. And then we're going to slide the hook further down towards your thumb. Once you hit your thumb, you just want to take your middle finger and thumb and pinch where it crosses so that you can no longer slide your hook up and down. Then what you're going to want to do is do a yarn over, and then pull the strand through this loop like that. Then we're going to overhand our hook like this. We're going to re-pinch that end to make sure we don't let go of that. Then with our index and thumb, we're going to push this knot towards the left thumb. So keep pushing it until that knot that you see gets just a little tighter. It's going to get to the point where you either can't push it anymore because the knot is tight, or it hits your thumb. So keep pushing this down till one of the two happens. And once we get there, you're going to want to take your thumb and your middle finger and just pull this excess piece just a little bit more to make that knot snug. You don't have to go pull it too much, just a little bit to make it snug. Then we're going to grab the thumb and the index. We're going to grab this knot and we're going to slide it all the way up to the hook, but leave some space here. So we're going to pull this that way and we're going to pull the excess piece in the opposite direction. Slide that knot up towards your hook, leave a bit of space like this. So now I can just slide this loop off the hook like that. Set this aside, don't lose it. We're going to pick up our project again. You're going to put the hook back into that enormous loop that we pulled out, and you're just going to tighten it up with pulling the feeder yarn in the opposite direction. Now what we're going to do is we're going to count 32 stitches, and we're going to do a slip stitch. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, and 32. So you're going to stick your hook into the 32nd stitch here, like that. You've got this white feeder waiting out in the wing. We're going to pick up the blue, slip it onto your hook, okay, and then we're just going to pull this loop through all the loops off your hook like that, and we've made our transition to the blue. Alright, so like I would normally do, we want to mark, hold on a second, I just lost my marker. I mean, I have a lot of them, but I just, for somehow I flicked it under everything here. Struggle is real, you guys. Okay, we're going to take our marker and put it at the top of the last stitch we made, like we've been doing this whole entire time. Now, I don't think we're, see, it says cut the yellow. It didn't say cut the white. But let me see, let me read ahead. If we're not using white anymore, I'm going to cut off this white because it gets annoying just having it around. Okay. Switch to yellow, switch to blue, switch to yellow, switch to blue, cut yellow. Okay, so it looks like we're not going to use white again. So what I'm going to do is cut the white off. Okay, doing it. We're going to cut the white and leave like an inch or so. And there's a lot of ways you can deal with this little piece now, but for me, I just tie it around the current color, which is the blue, about twice, but not too tight, just to get it like to not flap around and secure the white. Something like that, and I'm just going to leave it in there. The stuffing will kind of block everything, so you don't have to worry about doing anything with it. I'm going to pick up my project now, and we're going to do round 11. So we're going to do a single crochet stitch into the same stitch as your slip stitch. Oh, we're going to do a single crochet stitch into the same stitch as your slip stitch. All right, so stick your, we're going to chain 1 to make our height. Okay. Then we're going to do a single crochet stitch into the same stitch that we did the slip stitch. So you can clearly see where those stitches are. It's this one and this one. So we're going to make a tighter joint here. We're going to stick our hook back into that little loop there, and then we're going to stick it into the same stitch that we used to do the slip stitch, and we're going to do a single crochet stitch. So let's complete that. Okay, so we have our first single crochet stitch. Then we're going to do 19 single crochet stitches and switch to yellow. Oh, this is going to be not fun. Okay, so let's do 19 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and before I do 19, because we're switching to yellow, so we have one left to do here. We can double check our count actually, but I'm going to do the same thing, pull this all the way out to make a large hoop so we can remove our hook. But let's just double check our count. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19. What? Let me see. Oh, 19 and the, we have to, 19 is the single crochet stitch we did in the beginning. So total 20. All right. I am going to grab the yellow. We're going to do a cast onto the hook with the yellow now. So I have my yellow yarn here. All right, I'm going to show this again to you guys. Ring, pinky, thumb at one end, middle and index in another. Hold it apart, hook up. We're going to lie this perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around to make a loop. So we can slide our hook up and down. Slide it all the way down. Use your middle finger to hold where that crosses. We're going to let go of our left hand and gather up some yarn here. Then we're going to repinch the end and slide our hook all the way down towards the thumb. Once we hit the thumb, we're going to pinch where it crosses so that you stabilize your loop and it can't slide up and down. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull this through the loop. Then I'm going to overhand my hook. We're going to repinch this end and we're going to slide this knot towards the thumb and slide it all the way down till you can't anymore. Right? Once you hit a stopping point, we're going to take our thumb and middle and just pull this excess piece just a little bit tighter on the knot. Then we're going to grab the knot and pull it towards the hook like this. Leave a little gap here. We're then going to slide this loop off the hook, set it aside, come back to your project, put your hook back into that large loop and then tighten it up a little bit. We're going to do our last single crochet in this blue, the 19th single crochet from that instruction. So stick your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and instead of yarning over again and pulling through the whole loop to make your single crochet stitch, we're going to slip on the yellow. Okay, and we're going to pull that through both of those loops like that. So we can do our yellow now. It's a nice transition, you see? So we're going to leave this on here because we are switching back to the blue. What we're going to do is 6 single crochet stitches. So into the next stitch, let's do 6 single crochet stitches across here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now before we get to the 6th one, we're going to have to switch to blue because it says it in the next instruction. So stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, set this color aside for now. We're going to pick back up that blue, and don't pull it too tight. You don't want to wrinkle your project. You see how it's pulling? You want to make sure it rides along the inside of your project, and you want enough yarn there so that it's not pulling at all. Okay, so then now we can yarn over and pull through both loops like that, and now we're back to our blue. Okay. So now we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. And you know, because we did our single crochet stitch in the same marker stitch, I guess that was no longer our last stitch we made, but you can always count back to make sure that we have a total of 32 stitches, not inches. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, and then we have the 2. Okay. I'm going to move this marker to the top of the last stitch we made. Okay. Then we're going to move on to round 12. So for round 12, we have 21 single crochet stitches. All right, and this one's going to be for the blue. Then we're switching to yellow, so I have to remind myself not to complete the last one yet. I tend to forget that. Okay, so into the 32nd stitch. All right, let's do 21 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then we have 21. Let me just double check. Why does that look like it's going over? You always want to check your, okay. Well, no, that doesn't look right either. We have to do 21 single crochet stitches. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20, and then we have one more, but it's into the yellow. So 20. 26, 632. All right, I guess we're going over the yellow. I just want to make sure that we are doing this right, that the count is right. The count is right. So, oh, so we're going to do the last one. Instead of picking up the blue, we started our single crochet stitch. We're going to do the yellow. So pick up your yellow. Same thing we did with before. You're going to be pulling this across your project. You want to make sure that you're not pulling it too tight to where it starts to wrinkle. So, and then we're going to pull this through both loops, and then we are transitioning to our yellow. So next we're going to do 4 single crochet stitches in the yellow. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I said it wasn't looking right, and you know why? Because this is upside down. It's supposed to be this way, and so it does look right. I was like, it's doing a V, and I was like, no, it's doing an A. And I'm like, oh, just flip it upside down. Ugh. Oh dear. And then in that discovery, I did the last one wrong, because now we're going to switch back to the blue. So sorry you guys, I got a little tripped up there. We're going to undo this last stitch. So how you do that, if you ever need to go back, is pull up a little bit so you can remove your hook. You just have to pull the yarn. That's why crochet is fun, because if you mess up, you can always go back easy. If your stitches are nice and clean, you know. So I just pulled back one of the yarn overs because we have the 2 loops of that single crochet stitch. We're just going to go back with the blue. Instead, I did the yellow while I was figuring out why it looked different, because I had this stinking project upside down. You know. Okay. So we're going to yarn over and complete this single crochet stitch. There. And then we're going to do 7 single crochet stitches with the blue to end up with 32 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Oh, and now it says to cut the yellow yarn? Come on, bro. Alright. Had that been the thing here, I would have tied it around the blue like I did. But you know, I actually have some yarn here from pulling. I'll just tie it around there. I should have read ahead. I did read that, but I'm not about memorizing these things, so... Well, we're going to cut the yellow. So give it about 1 inch or so. And just to make sure that this is secure, I never trust anything. If you put all this work into it, don't trust it either. I want to tie this a couple of times around this loose yarn here in the back to make sure that this is nice and secure. You don't have to go too crazy with how tight these knots are, just a double knot. The stuffing is going to hold anything back anyway. Okay, so I tied that up. We're going to go to the next round, 13, and we're going to do 32 single crochet stitches. Let me take this yellow away. And we have our blue. I can move this up here. It's just sitting on my lap. Let me gather up some yarn here. And I'm not too sure if this is going to be a 2-part video because we are completing the head and the body. I'm going to look back at how much time I have on these videos. I try to keep them less than 2 hours. But let's do 32 single crochet stitches. In here you don't really have to count. We can always count at the end. That way you can have a faster, you know, run of just doing your stitches. Comment below, let me know how many of these you've done so far, the Amigurumi kits. Not necessarily Woobles. I've done a lot more from the Dollar Tree than I have for Woobles. And I'm realizing that the more I do these, the more comfortable and easier they are to figure out. But as always, I am glad and happy to help you guys out if you need it. So like I said, leave a comment below. Let me know if you have any requests to do any of the kits that you have. I do crochet, I do knit. If you have the instructions, even better, because then you can just email those to me and I can make a video out of that if I can't find the kit. But yeah, like this one I didn't have, so this was emailed to me. Woobles is all online anyway. They don't give paper instructions, which I'm not necessarily fond of. I don't like to have my phone out while crocheting. It's crazy because, like, I think crocheting is supposed to be like I didn't even mark this. It's supposed to be like a no device. This is what you do when you want to get away from electronics. So why pull out an electronic just to do this? All right, let's count 32 stitches and see if we have 32. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 27, 30, and 32. Okay, so I'm going to remove this marker. I didn't mark the last round, which I should have, but let's see. Put your marker underneath the top of the last stitch you made. So round 14, we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches, a decreasing stitch 8 times, and end up with 24. So of course I'm going to show you how to do a decreasing stitch. And this is basically all it is, the amigurumis. Increasing and decreasing in single crochet stitches. Okay. So we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches. 1, 2. Then we're going to do a decreasing stitch. And a decreasing stitch, all it is using 2 stitches to make 1. So let me show you how to do that. Stick your hook into the next stitch. You're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So now you have 2 loops on your hook. You're going to put your hook into the next stitch. You're going to yarn over, pull up a loop. So then now you have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all 3 loops. So we made a single crochet stitch, but we used 2 stitches to get there. Okay, let's do this. We have to repeat this 7 more times. So 2 single crochet stitches, 1, 2. All right, and then we're going to do a decreasing stitch. So into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. You'll have 2 loops. Then stick your hook into the next stitch over, yarn over and pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all 3 loops. We made our decreasing stitch. Then we just have to repeat this 6 more times. So into the next stitch we're going to do 1, and the next stitch 2 single crochet stitches all together. Then we're going to do a decreasing stitch. So into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And then we just have to repeat this 5 more times. So single crochet stitch, single crochet stitch, decreasing stitch, 4 more times, single, single, decrease, right? Where am I at? 3 more times, single, single, decrease, right? 2 more times, single, single, decrease, 1 more time, single, single, and decrease. All right, remove the marker, put it on the top of the last stitch you've made. Okay, then we're going to do round 15, which is pretty much 24 single crochet stitches all the way around. So this one's fairly easy. So 1, oh, well, you can count at the end. Okay, so now for the next round, 16, we're going to do a single crochet stitch, a decreasing stitch 8 times, and end up with 16 stitches for round 16. Okay. So we're going to do our single crochet stitch, our decreasing stitch, and repeat this 7 times, single crochet stitch, decreasing stitch, and repeat this 6 more times, single crochet stitch, decreasing stitch, repeat this 5 more times, I lose count, single crochet stitch, decreasing stitch, single, decrease, single, decrease, single, decrease, single, and decrease. Okay, we're going to mark the last stitch we made, then we're going to do 16 for round 17. We're going to do 16 single crochet stitches all the way around. Then I'm going to mark the last stitch we made. I'm going to check out to see what round 18 has in store for us. Let's see, it says attach the eyes between round 7 and 8 with a 6 stitch space between them. If this amigurumi is for a baby or pet, embroider the eyes instead, stuff the piece, shaping it like an egg. So I love that they add that part. Now if you don't want to worry about this clunky hook just chilling while you're trying to do this stuff, do what we do when we cast on. So just pull a huge loop out so that you have enough material to work with and it won't accidentally pull all the way out. Now obviously this part here is going to be the front of your design here, and it says to put the eyes between rounds 7 and 8. So from the top you see this nice little swirl of that magic loop that we first worked with. That counts as 1 round. You're going to count down all the way to 7th and 8th. So if this is 1, next one would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this row is 7, this row is 8. To make your life easier, you can just count how many rows up from the yellow since it's the closest. And it looks like after the 3rd row is where we have to put our eyes. So it's great that they said you can choose how you want to go about it. I'm going to embroider the eyes. You should have been given a needle similar to this or so to sew on the face. And then I don't know if they give you black yarn, but I'm going to use my own. Okay. So, and then it needs to be 6 stitches between them. I love that they do that. So the easiest thing to do, so we're putting it right where my pink needle is. We just have to find the middle, and since we know that this is 6 yellow stitches here, it's going to go between 3 and 3. So when we hit up that row we're supposed to put in at, here's the stitch dead in the middle, and then we have to count what, 6? Oh, that's not going to be easy. All right, we can make it a little askew then. So we go up to that row that we need, and I guess this would be the middle. Just a little bit of looking. So if it's 6 stitches apart, one eye is going to be here, the other one's going to be over here. Wow, that's kind of far apart, but anyway. All right, so let's stick our hook. We're going to go from the inside actually, and I already lost it. I suck. All right, 3, 3, got it. All right. I mean, you can put your markers, that would probably be good, but I'm just trying to just freehand this here. All right, come up at that between 7 and 8, and wherever we figured our eye was supposed to be, right? And I'm gonna go around. All right, so you can let go of this spot because you know it's going to be 6 stitches down, so we can focus on this one eye first. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to get inside here, and we're going to tie a knot or 2 around to secure this eye. Okay, and then it's up to you to decide if you how many times you want to go in and around this stitch here. So if you want a nice bulbous eye, I would go, you know, maybe 3 times or so. Like that. And then I'm going to count 6 stitches down the road here. So 3 and 6, we have to come up just above here, so get in there and try to direct your needle to go up into that spot that you need, like that. Try not to sew these. That would be bad. So when you sew it across, make sure you give enough slack so that it's not pulling like that. And we're going to do the same thing that we did on the other side. Okay, and then we're going to go back in, and then we're going to tie it to that other spot. Shouldn't have a smile. I guess not. Oh, but there's whiskers. Can I do the whiskers? I try to do everything now so that we don't have to worry about tying anything. Let me look for the whiskers part. Okay, it's where the nose is. Right, yellow. Oh no, it's not where the nose is. Whiskers, here we go. Embroider 3 whiskers on either side of the Hello Kitty's head. Ooh, and there's illustrations too. Insert the needle somewhere on the back of the body and pull it out between rounds 7 and 8, 2 stitches away from the right eye. I don't know if I have enough, but I could always get more. I want to do everything now so that I don't have to worry about knots later. But it's talking about between 7 and 8, and then 2 stitches away from the right eye. So that's the left eye. This is, well, listen, right eye facing this way, right eye facing this way. Let's just go here. So 2 stitches away. Oh no, I made a droopy eye. All right, let me fix that. Hold on, you guys. Let me come back. I kind of went down when I should have gone across. Let me fix this. Hold on. Okay, I fixed it. That would have been a lazy eye. Okay, so we're going to come back in here, and 2 stitches away from the right eye. 1, 2. You're going to stick your needle up here. All right, pull it out and put out 1 round. Oops, let's see. 2 stitches away from the right eye. This is the beginning of the middle of the whisker. Leave a 6-inch yarn and tail. Okay. Insert the needle 3 stitches away from the face. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Stick your needle in there. Got it 3 stitches away, like that. Pull it out 1 round above the starting point of the whisker you just made. So we're gonna go back in here. We're gonna go up 1 round from where we started, right there. We're gonna come out this way. Okay. All right. Insert the needle 3.5 stitches away from the face in the center of the V to create the top whisker. Okay, so 3.5 stitches. and a half. Are we going up to get the top whisker? Pull the needle out 2 rounds below. I guess not. But each stitch has a little V. You're going to see a little hole in, or a little dip in each one. We're putting it in the middle. That's where we're putting it. So this would be, you know, off to the side, just a sample. We're not doing it, but you would put it in here because I already put it in here and you can see a hole now, so that's easier to see. But yeah, in between the stitch. So we went 3 over, 1, 2, 3, and in the middle, so it's 3.5. Then we're going to come up a row below where we started, like this. Okay. Insert the needle 3.5 inches away from the face and 1 round down. Oh, did it say that too? No. Alright, so we're gonna pass 3, 1, 2, 3, and a half in the middle, but it's gonna be the next row down. So right there. Okay, let me see. And then 2 stitches away from the left eye. Then we move on to the left eye. But I don't know if I'll have enough yarn for that, so I'm just gonna get more of the black yarn. That's pretty much how they're doing the whiskers. Okay, so I'm just gonna get more black. I have my black yarn here. For these kits, it's always good to have a black spool of yarn around, or skein of yarn around, for situations like this. Okay. Thread this up, and then it says to come up from 2 stitches away from the left eye now. So from the left eye, 1, 2, stick your needle out. I'm just gonna leave a little bit of space here because I'm going to I'm going to tie these 2 ends together. Okay, again, make sure that you have enough slack that it's not pulling when you tie it. I'm going to tie this twice around. Okay, this is probably looser than it really needs to be, but that's okay. And then I'm just gonna, I can just tuck the ends in, just tuck it in. Okay. Alright, and now we're just gonna pretty much do the same thing, but on the other side. So insert the needle 3 stitches away from the face. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we're going to pull it out 1 round above the starting point of the last whisker, so right up here. Okay, then we're going to do 3.5 stitches away. So 1, 2, 3.5. Stick that in there, and then we're going to go 2 rows down from where we were, right there. Okay, and then we're going to go 3.5 stitches, but we're going to go 1 row down. So right there. And it talks about having the same yarn come out the same hole, but you know, you don't need to do that. So here we have our whiskers. Let's see what other facial features we have. Okay, so we did the eyes, we did the whiskers, then we have to do a nose. That's a completely different color. So what we're going to do now, and I'm sure it might have said something here, tie a knot between both yarn tails. Okay, so it says to put it close to where you first came up, but I mean, you could, but you can just snake it along. Okay, and we're going to tie these pieces together. All right. Then I'm going to come in with the yellow. We're going to do the nose. Okay, so I'm going to cut a piece of my yellow yarn. We're going to go where the nose is. It seems like a lot of instruction for the nose. Okay. With yellow yarn, thread a needle with the arm's length of yarn and insert it on the right side of the head. Pull the needle out 2.5 inches to the left of the right eye in the middle of the V. Okay. I feel like let's just do illustrations. Thread a needle with the arm's length of yarn and insert it on the right side of the head. Pull the needle out 2.5 inches to the left of the right eye. So, if this is the right eye, 1, 2, 1/2 is in between the V. Okay. Between rounds 8 and 9. Oh, so we're going to go down a row right here. Because this one is 7, 8, 9, so we're going to go in between this row. All right. Insert the needle 1 stitch to the left. Okay, in this case, it's going to be the 1/2, because 2 halves make the 1. I'm going to pull out just enough to have this end piece we're going to tie off to. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's starting to come together here. Okay, leave a 6-inch tail. I've got more than that. Insert the needle 1 stitch to the left in the middle of the V and pull it out the same hole it came out of in step 1. Yikes. Oh, okay, I already did that. Insert the needle 1 stitch to the left in the middle of this. First, I'm going to do so both tails are coming out of the same hole. Alright. So they have this twice. I have it one time. We can do it again. Make sure, get that excess piece out of the way there. In this case, I'm just going to tie it once, so it's just flapping in the wind here. But we're going to come back up in the middle. And it picked up some of that black, so try to not do that. We're going to come up in the same spot, 1 stitch over, which would be the 1/2. Oh, what am I doing from this side? Hello. So right down in here. All right. So that is that. I'm going to flip this inside out. And we're going to tie this to the excess piece. I want to make sure that little strand of black is pulled out. And I'm going to cut this. This might be the whole video here, you guys. It might be long, but I think that's all we need to do. Alright. So, oh, there's buttons. But we're not there yet, I don't think. Yeah, we are, so I have to do the buttons too. Yeah, we have the bow left. We did the whiskers, we did the nose. Oh, we have to do the arms. But let me finish off the head and body after we do the buttons. So, get your white yarn. I'm going to cut some of this. And the idea, like I said, I mean, it's nice they put it like that, but the idea is to get everything completed before you stuff, because then you won't have to worry about knots everywhere. Okay. Thread needle with 4 arms length of white yarn, embroider 2 buttons on the front of the Hello Kitty's body. Step 1, insert the needle somewhere on the right side of the body and pull it out between rounds 11 and 12. So if we know that this one's 8 and 9, 10, 11, 12, so it's in between this first row. Let's just double check. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, so in between. And it says somewhere on the right. Alright, let's see where they have it. So it's like a blue away. So we're going to come up 1 blue away right here. Okay. Insert the needle 1 round down and pull it out of the same hole it came out of step 1. Okay, and repeat it as much as you want to make it look like a button. So I want to pull this to where I get my excess piece to tie around later. Alright, and then I'm going to stick this back in here. Let's see what 1 looks like. Probably have to do this 2 more times maybe, so that's what 1 looks like. It's again. Okay. Then once we get it to look the way that we want it to, I think 3 times is good for me. Then we're going to come up on the other side and do the other side. So in between 11 and 12, and then we have 1 blue away. Okay. I'm going to go down 1 row, and I'm going to repeat this 3 times. Okay. Right, then I'm going to invert this. We're going to tie our knot. Okay, then cut off. All right, so now we have all the body parts we need that's connected to the head and body, and then we can finish the rest of that head and body instruction. So attach the eyes between rounds 7 and 8, and with a 6 stitch space between them. If this amigurumi is for a pet or a baby or pet, embroider the eyes instead. Stuff the piece, shaping it like an egg. Okay, so I'm going to take some stuffing, and I don't know what kit this is from, but I have a bunch of stuffing. So I would recommend buying stuffing if you plan on making more of these. I think Woobles was pretty good, but some other kits don't give you enough material, so I would just have it on hand anyway. But I'm just going to grab the stuffing that I do have, and I'm going to stuff this to the firmness that I would like. And of course, if you wanted to be really crazy about it, you can do the ears, the arms before you stuff as well to attach them. But I'm just gonna figure out those steps. You just gotta figure out a knot somehow when you do those. I don't even know what kit this is from. Okay. The more you stuff, the more difficulty it's going to be for you to close it, because the stitches tend to pull, and then you'll probably have gaps in between the stitches, so you just have to be mindful of that. I feel like I want to put in more, but I don't want to struggle later. Maybe we'll just put a little bit more. Okay. So we got our last bits in. I'm going to take my hook. We're going to put it back into the loop that we created, that large loop. We're going to tighten it up. We're going to do the last round, round 18, and we're doing 8 decreasing stitches all the way around, and we're going to end up with 8 stitches left. And like I said, when you decrease like this, this is where you're going to have gaps, so you have to kind of pull your stitches tight so that it's not pulling too much. So 8 decreasing stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Fasten off, leaving a long tail. Thread a needle with the tail, then use it to pull the yarn through the front loops of each stitch. Pull it tight close to close the remaining gap. Okay. So I'm gonna get some yarn here. fastening off, let's remove this marker. We don't need it anymore. To fasten off, you just do a yarn over, and you're going to pull that all the way out. Okay, then we're going to tighten up that loop. Then we're going to thread this needle here. Alright, and then it's saying front loops, so these are the front loops, back loop. We're going to sew up the front loops. Okay, right now you can do it loosely. Okay, and then when you get back to the first loop there, then you can pull it tight to close off the hole like that. And then this is where I tell you, like, you know, just trying to find a knot and how to knot when you're not a sewer is difficult. So I'm just going to find a moment in here and try to make a knot. That's all I'm doing. I don't know how to do it right. You can comment below if you have any tips. Well, I'm just gonna create a knot here. Okay, and once I make that knot, I'm going to cut off my excess to make it shorter, and I'm going to take my hook, I'm going to put it just under the surface of my project, and I'm going to come up where that excess piece is. I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to drag it down into my project. And I realize that I'm doing this with my left hand. I am a lefty. So if you're a righty, just use your right hand. Alright, so I drug down that excess piece. Then you can go back in and shape up your egg looking Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty is a very...
Oh my gosh, that thing just decided to help me out. Okay. And here we have our first piece. So let me go in and check to see how much time I have on these videos. If it's way deep into 2 hours, we're just gonna have to do the ears, the tail, the arms, and the bow tie, the bow in another part video. Okay, so we're just gonna go straight through with this. Ears. There's 2 of them. I'm going to do one on camera, one off camera. Buy some time. I think we have like 30 minutes maybe, but you know me, so let's see. Alright, start 4 single crochet in a magic loop. Alright, let's do this again. So you're going to have this piece of yarn here, and you want to wrap it around twice. Once, twice, with a little bit of overage here. So you can put your middle finger down on it. 3 strands, oops. 3 strands here. You're going to palm up, and you're going to slip your hook underneath 3 of these strands. We're going to pull this underneath these 2. So turn your hook sideways and pull that yarn underneath these 2. Right? And once you get to this point, we're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull that through the loop. Oops. Okay, so now we have closed off our magic loop. You can let go of your middle finger. You can slip this off your index, and then we can start with our 4 single crochet stitches. So We're going to chain 1 first, so yarn over and pull through the loop to chain 1, and then we're going to put our hook into the magic loop, and we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, in case we've forgotten. Now we just have to do this 3 more times. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so once we have our 4 single crochet stitches in our chain stitch, we're going to hold the bottom part of the stitches while we pull this excess piece. We're going to watch to see which loop goes in first. So pull that, and this back loop here is going in. You're going to pull that bottom half out, and we're going to watch this other loop go inside the magic loop. So keep pulling until that other loop disappears all the way. You might still have a little hole left. What we're going to do now is pull the excess piece and watch the other loop go away. And once that's disappeared, you just want to pull in the opposite direction and a little up, so you can pull the last bits of the excess piece. Your hole should be gone. We're gonna mark, well, I'll still mark it. This is so tiny. We're gonna mark the top of the last stitch we made. We're gonna see what the next round has in store for us. So for round 2, we're gonna do an increasing stitch, and then 3 single crochet stitches, and end up with 5 stitches altogether. So let's do our increasing stitch. Let's just count 4 stitches to see if we have the right number here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stick your hook into the 4th stitch, and let's do our increasing stitch. 1, and then 2. Okay, so we have our increasing stitch, and then we're going to do 3 single crochet stitches. So 1, 2, and then 3. Okay, then we can remove the marker and then place it on the top of the last stitch we made. All right. Then for round 3, we're going to do 5 increasing stitches and end up with 10. So into the next stitch, we're going to do an increasing stitch, and then repeat it 4 times. Okay, remove the marker. I think this is the last bit here. So invisible fasten off, leaving a long tail, flatten the ears and sew them on the head, spanning rounds 3 to 5, centered above the eyes. The ears should be at about 45-degree angle. Ooh. All right, let's leave a good enough length of tail. Some kits actually tell you how long it should be. I don't, Woobles is pretty good at giving you enough material. Yeah, so, all right, invisible fasten off is, we're going to count back 10 stitches. So 3, 6, 9, 10. Put your hook into the 10th stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull that all the way out. We're going to tighten up that stitch, and so we have our little disc. Right, flatten the ears. So when you flatten them, make sure that the right side is facing out like we discussed earlier with the body. So we're going to flip this inside out to make the right side facing the right way. And then you're going to flatten it like this. Okay, then I'm going to take the needle and thread it. We're going to sew this to the head. And then again, you guys, I'm going to be doing the second ear off camera. Oh shoot. Alright, let me pull up that instruction again. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Alright, so we have to sew them between rows of 3 and 5. So from the top here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So spanning these two rounds, and centered above the eyes. All right, just make it look like that. All right. Okay, so this is spanning about 2 rows, and you want to make sure that you fit it in there. I think that might be what's going to cause the little triangle pinch. Okay. All right. And then as far as tying off, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. So I'm just gonna figure it out. Okay. Cut it. Take the hook just under the surface of your project. Try to avoid the stuffing. Come up where the excess piece is, yarn over, and drag it inside your project. Repeat the step if it's long. Okay. So we have one ear. I'm going to do the other ear off camera and have it sewn on. And then when we come back, we are going to do the tail. I didn't know Hello Kitty had a tail. But I mean, it should, right? It's a cat. So let me come back with the other ear on. Okay, did the other ear, sewed it on. It's starting to look like a mouse. Let's change that. Tail. We're going to grab the white yarn, and then we're going to do the magic loop again with 4 single crochet stitches. So again, once, twice, grip it with your middle finger, palm up, slip your hook underneath the 3 strands, pull it back out underneath these 2. Okay, we're going to yarn over. You're going to pull that through the loop to close this magic loop off. Remove your middle finger. Remove the loops off your index. Right, then we're going to do 4 single crochet stitches. Right, chain 1 first, of course. Then we're going to do 4 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, then we're going to pull this closed. Hold the bottom part and pull this, and slowly pull it to see which one goes in first. Then we're going to grab the lower half of the one that went in first and pull that out. Watch the other loop go in till that's disappeared, gone. I don't know if that was proper English. Then pull this piece till the other loop's gone, and then pull it in the opposite direction and up a little bit to close that really good. I'm going to mark off the last stitch that we made. Okay, and then we're going to do the next round. So we are going to do an increasing stitch and 3 single crochet stitches to end up with 5 stitches. Okay, so let's just count back 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stick your hook into the 4th stitch. We're going to do our increasing stitch. Okay. Increasing stitch. Alright, and then we're going to do 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, and 3. And we have our 5 single crochet stitches. Remove the marker. I don't think we need this again. This was the last round. It said invisible, fasten off, leaving long tail, thread a needle with the yarn, then use it to sew the tail to the middle back of the body, spanning rounds 14 and 15. So this is where it gets a little crazy. It's wanting to curl in, as we said. You want to flip that inside out. Okay, we're going to tuck that middle piece in, so don't worry about that, but we're going to count back 5 stitches and we're going to do a slip stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stick your hook into the 5th stitch. All right, and then we're going to do a slip stitch. So we're going to yarn over and slip through all the loops off your hook like that. Then we're going to create a tail here to sew. Cut this off. We're going to fasten this off. So yarn over and pull that all the way out. Tighten up the loop, and then this is where we have to kind of tuck this in. I wish there was a picture of the back because I don't know what Hello Kitty looks like. I don't really, that's more my sister's thing. Meanwhile, let's just thread up this needle and then maybe I'll see if there's pictures. But it says then use it to sew the tail, so it looks like it's not telling me to squish it or anything. So I think this is just going to be a circular shape. Please let there be a backside. I mean, seeing that, I get it, people that do these probably like Hello Kitty and know of it. I'm just doing this to do this, so I don't even know what it looks like. I guess I'm just going to sew the circle on it. All right, hopefully that's correct. Comment below if it's not. All right, so we're going to count 14 and 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So we're going to sew this to kind of hover around 14, 15, and of course you want it kind of in the middle. So let's see. I'm just gauging by my eyes, and here's spanning 14, 15. Yeah, spanning with my eyes, so it could be wrong. It's happened before where it's off center. I'm like, oh man. Okay, but I locked it in. This is what we're going to work with. So okay. Once we get all the way around, we just have to figure out a way to sew this on. So okay, once we got that, I'm going to tuck this into the project here, so just under the surface, come up where that excess piece is, yarn over, and we're going to drag it into our project here. Alright. Then I think the last bit is the, look how cute, is the bow tie. I mean the bow tie, the bow, so let's do that. Right, let's just double check. Oh, the arms. Oof. Okay. With white and yellow yarn, we're going to make 2 of these. Again, I'm going to do the second one off camera. So we're going to do the magic loop. I've done this 3 times already. This is the 4th time. You can go back to see how I do the magic loop. Okay. Once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to go just as fast, if not faster than me. And then we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches in our magic loop. Be sure to chain 1 first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Kind of pumped to do the next one. I'm going to do a Dollar Tree Amigurumi kit. that one might be more involved than what we're doing now. Okay, let's mark off the last stitch. All right, so in the next round we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches. 3, put your hook into the 6th stitch. We're doing 6 single crochet stitches all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, remove the marker. Oh, we switched to yellow. All right, so let's take it back like I did last time because we have to switch to yellow. I forgot. So just remove the hook. We're going to slowly pull out that loop. Now we have these 2 just flapping in the wind. You can put your hook back in. All right, before we complete that, we have to cast on the yellow. Well, take your hook back out. Try not to lose that. You can put your marker in there actually, but I'm going to get my yellow. Okay, and we're going to cast on. And I've done this a bunch of times already too, so if you want to rewind back, we're going to cast on this yellow here. And there's actually a faster way that I do this, but I'm just doing it the same way that I showed you guys. Okay, once we get that, we got that set up, remove the loop. We're going to pick back up our project, put the hook back in there. We're going to slip on our yellow because we're going to complete the 6th single crochet stitch with the yellow to make that transition like that. And then we can start our round 3, and then it's again 3 single crochet stitches. We're not going to need the white again, but let's wait to cut because we might sew the arm with the white depending on where we are, because then that would be a cleaner thing. So let's see. 6 single crochet stitches. We don't really have to put the marker because the last stitch is completely a different color. So if you don't know where you are in this round, just look for the color change. But yeah, so now we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches in the yellow. Okay, and once you got your 6th, let's see what it wants us to do. Cut the white yarn. Well, it wants you to cut the white yarn, so we'll just cut that. Before we go, like, you want to secure this, and luckily that excess yarn from the magic loop, we can just tie it to that because this is so small. That stretch isn't that big, as you can see. So just double knot that. All right, then it says flatten the arm to and single crochet through both sides of the arm. So let's just flip this inside out, of course, like we do with all of these. All right, I'm going to stuff the white excess piece in here. Okay, then it's saying to flatten the arm. Alright, so flatten the arm and single crochet through both sides of the arm. Insert the hook under the first 2 stitches across from each other and single crochet stitch. Continue to single crochet together the 2 pairs of stitches. Alright, so we're doing a row of single crochet stitches. So stick your hook into the next stitch and then the corresponding, but if you flattened it, the stitch right behind it. So I don't know if you can see this. This was my next stitch. If I flattened it, this stitch fell right behind it. So we're going to do a single crochet stitch. So we're going to pull a loop through all of that and then yarn over and pull through both loops. We have our single crochet stitch. We're going to do it again, stick into the next stitch. There should be a stitch right behind it, like that. We're going to yarn over and pull through all the loops, yarn over and pull through the next loop. Let's see, do we have to do this again? Maybe, but that might be tough. Yeah, we'll do this one more time because there is two here that are squished and bunched up together. So I would just go around the end piece there. Alright. So I guess in total you have the 3 and then this little roundy thing here. Alright. Continue to, okay, 2 pairs of stitches. Fasten off, leaving a long tail. Thread the needle with the yarn tail. Use the yarn tail to sew the arms to either side of the body. 3 stitches away from each eye between rounds 10 and 11. Okay, so let's cut off some tail. We're going to fasten this off. So yarn over, pull all the way out. Okay, tighten that up. We're going to grab our needle. And we're going to thread this. Yikes. Okay. Then we have to sew it. So between rounds 10 and 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And then it says 3 stitches away from each eye. So let's pull up a photo, as you see here. It looks like it has it up here. Jeez Louise, what the freak. And then 3 stitches away from the eye. So if the eye is here, you just have to kind of follow this down. Alright, and 3 from the eye. 1, 2, 3. Let's start sewing. Okay. And I'm just going stitch for stitch, in case you're wondering. I'm just going to lift this up. I'm going to hide my knot underside the arm. Okay. come under here, come up where the excess piece is. I'm going to drag this down into the project. Okay. Oh no! Alright. So we've got the one arm. And I'm going to do the second one off camera. Okay. I have the arms on. Now I just have to put the little bow. We are near the end of the road here. I have my red yarn. Let's get this done. This is all going to be done in a video, in one video, so I'm really excited about that. So we are going to cast on. You can rewind back to see how I've done that, but I've done this a bunch of times now. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're chaining 4. So let's chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 4 chains here. We have to mark the first chain with the stitch marker. So I'm going to turn it around and put it in these back humps. So you have your little braid, put it at the back hump behind the braid. Okay. Alright, when crocheting into a chain, remember to crochet only into the back loops. Okay, so that tip, I could be completely wrong with this, but when you hold your crochet project horizontally and you see your chains, it could be chains, it could be the single crochet stitches, whatever, you always have this braid on top, as we've seen throughout this whole video. The loop that's on the top is considered the back loop, and then the loops at the bottom are considered the front loop. So the tip says when crocheting into the chain, remember to crochet only in the back loops. So that would be the tops of these braids, and that's pretty standard, universal throughout every project unless the instructions tell you otherwise. But when I start out in chains like this, and I've said this in all of my videos, I like to do the back humps. I don't know if that's what they mean by back loops, because I know the back loops are just what I showed you. But I do the back humps. That's where we put this marker here. You see these little humps at the back of the braid? That's where I put it because I like to retain the braid. So let's see what it's saying now. Step 2, we're going to do a 2 double crochet, 3 chain, slip stitch in the chain marked with the stitch marker. This completes the left side of the bow. Okay, so basically what it's saying is we're going to put it in the first chain. So default, standard, universal, that's that back loop right here. But I'm going to put it where I put the marker, and it's the back hump. So let's show you how to do 2 double crochet stitches. It's pretty much double a single crochet stitch. So what you're going to do is yarn over. You're going to stick your hook into, in my case, the back hump. If you want to do the back loop, that's fine. So stick it into the back loop or hump. All right, we're going to yarn over. You're going to pull up a loop to have 3 loops here. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops. That's a single, that's a double, that's 1 double crochet stitch. Let's make sure I say the right words. All right, so now we have to do another double crochet stitch. So yarn over, stick your hook into the same loop or stitch or whatever, all right, that you just used. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Now we have 2 double crochet stitches. So then it says chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do a slip stitch. Okay, so then we're going to do a slip stitch. So stick your hook back into the same stitch we've been using with the marker, and we're going to do a slip stitch, which basically is a yarn over, pull through all loops off your hook, slip stitch, and this is side 1 of the bow. It's already looking really cute. Okay, so now for it says tip. DC means double crochet. That's something you should probably put in before the step. But step 3, we have to chain 3, double crochet stitch, chain 3 again, slip stitch into the chain marked with the stitch marker, remove the stitch marker. This completes the right side of the bow. Really? It does? Okay. So we're going to do a chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. I feel like that should be a 2 double crochet stitch, but we're just doing the 1. So double crochet stitch, and then another chain 3. Yeah, we're gonna put another one because this bow is gonna look silly as hell. Oh, I guess it does look silly as hell. Fine. We're gonna do chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Sometimes you just gotta listen to the instruction because that photo clearly looks off, but if that's what they want, that's what they want. So stick your hook into the same stitch we've been using here. We're going to do a slip stitch, so yarn over and pull through all loops off the hook, and that completes the other side. Remove the stitch marker, and that is that. So now what? Step 4, fasten off, leaving a long tail. All right, so let's get our long tail here. We're going to fasten this off, and how you do that is we do the yarn over, and we're going to pull that all the way through, and we're going to tighten up that loop there. Okay, so we got our bow here. Then it says wrap the tail around the center of the bow 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. Right, we've got three turns. All right, clinching it in the middle. Oh, I guess let's do this over again. Pinch the middle. We're going to wrap this around 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Careful not to overlap the yarn as you wrap around the bow. Thread the needle with the yarn tail and use it to sew the bow to the bottom of the right ear. Alright, where's my needle? Make sure the smaller side of the bow is on the right. Hide the yarn tails. Okay. Alright, so just for the sake of making sure that this is not going to unravel, I'm just going to slip this underneath the wraps and pull that through on the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to sew this. That way I don't have to keep pinching it and holding it in place. So this is the smaller side. We're going to make sure it's on the right side. So we're going to, oh my gosh, stop it. This thing is so cute. Alright, so now I'm just going to sew this around a part of the ear. Okay, and then we can always go back in here and go under the wraps that we just did around this bow. Okay, pull that. We can do this maybe one more time just to make sure. It's always good to have a 2-ply of thread as opposed to 1. in case one of them rips. I don't know why you would give this to a pet. They're gonna destroy this sucker. Okay. So now that we have that, I'm gonna wanna tie a knot somehow. So I'm gonna slip under this one more time. Okay. And then I'm gonna do my little strange knot thing. I don't even know if that really works, but it seems like it's working. Just keep pulling. Okay. Once we got that tight, I'm gonna cut a piece off of here. I'm going to slip this just under the surface and come up just near the excess piece, and we're going to drag this into our project. All right. Refix the bow again. Oh my gosh, this is too cute. And here we have our finished Hello Kitty. This worked fairly well. It wasn't as difficult as some of these are. But yeah, I mean, some of these are 30-40 bucks, and I can understand why, because they're copywritten characters. So there we have it, you guys. Comment below, let me know what you think of this. How did you fare in this video here? Hopefully I was able to help you out. Hopefully I was able to help out the viewer that requested this video. Again, go check her out. I'm going to leave the link in the description box below. But I think it's almost similar. Almost. Alright, you guys. So this week I have coming up for you, I am doing next a Dollar Tree Crafter Square kit. I was requested to do the panda. I have the Mandalorian to finish. I have another Annie's square. I am doing the Afghan, but I also have another Afghan, the Moroccan style. So I'm going to start that one. I'm going to alternate between the two. I actually had a viewer ask if I was ever doing the flower bouquet that I started last year that I actually never finished and haven't done in quite a while. You're right, I will finish that. I'm going to throw that in, if not this week, definitely next week. I just have a lot of projects that I'm doing simultaneously along with my nail videos, so if you can imagine, this is a lot. But thank you so much, you guys, for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.